Hello, scholars. It's me, Miss Jackson. Today is Monday, March 23rd, and we're about to get started with our lesson 6. Hope you all are having a great day, but let's get started. We don't have a doodle today, but we do have an objective. 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 I will read and sort tricky words with tricky spelling. C for k and C for s and digraph. Wait for the snap. If you said s, give yourself a pat on the back. If you said give yourself a pat on the back. Tricky words. Don't get tricked. Wait for the snap. If you said cow, give yourself a kiss on the forehead. Spelling words. Spelling test on Friday. We're not really going to have a spelling words test, but we can have a virtual one, and you can send me the words through text message. You have my number. S-U-N. That spells sun. K-I-S-S. That spells kiss. C-E-N-T. That spells scent. P-R-I-N-C-E. That spells prince. Z-I-P. That spells zip. J-A-Z-Z. That spells jazz. P-I-G-S. That spells pigs. H-E-R-E. That spells here. Expectations. Moving on, scholars, to our packet. This paper is not in your packet because this isn't a paper that I added to it. However, we are going to discuss just a little bit that the letter C here makes two different sounds. How many sounds? Two sounds. The first sound is k. The first sound is, and the second sound is s. The second sound is. Ms. Jackson is going to attach a link underneath in the description of this video so that you can review the different sounds for the letter C. Now in your packet, you do have this page. It's 6.2 at the top and it's dated for Monday, March 23rd. So what you're going to do, we're going to read these words together and you have to determine if the C in each of these words, the S sound in each of those words, you have to put them in the proper column. For example, this is the word sell. This word here, this is the word sell. And what you're going to do is you're going to determine if that C is working by itself, like this C, if the sound is working with like the C and the E digraph, or if that sound is the S and the E working together. I have already done an example for each one, so we'll review the words first. Ms. Jackson will underline the important spelling that you should know, and then you're going to write these words in the proper column. If you choose, you can cut these words out and paste them or glue them in the proper column, but if you don't have scissors or glue stick, go ahead and use your pencil or pen or marker or crayon, whatever you choose to write with, and write it in the proper column. So this word here is cell, is good. This word is center. This word is good. If you notice, Ms. Jackson is underlining the important part of that word so that you know which column this word goes into. Next word is voice, is. Next word is prince, is. Next word is twice, is. Good. Next word is else, is. Next word is dense, is. Next word is chance, is. Next word is house, is. Next word is horse, is. Next word is C. Scholars, don't get tricked. When this C is when it's working by itself, it's typically working by itself in the middle of a word or at the beginning of a word, like this word here, in center, cell, and percent. That C is working by itself. It is not working as a team with that E because that E says eh, okay? This last word is dancing. The last word is, okay. So Ms. Jackson has already done the first three for you. For the word cell, that C is working by itself. So I'm going to put in the single C column, okay? The next word that I've already done for you is chance. And we can see at the end of the word chance, we have the C and the E digraph working together. So we're going to write chance in the CE column. And then the last word that I've done for you scholars is horse. And if you notice at the end of horse, we have the S sound. However, that's the S and the E working together. So we're going to put horse in the SE column. Now, scholars, I know you're super duper smart. It's not even going to take you 3 minutes to put these words in the proper column. So if I were you, I would pause this video, go ahead and take about 2 to 3 minutes to write the words in the proper column. When you're done writing these words in a proper column, I challenge you to take a picture of it and send it to Ms. Jackson. If you can send a picture of this page to Ms. Jackson, that's a Grow Our Team point for you. Now, scholars, remember, last week we started a new unit. However, we haven't read any of our readers because we were focused on writing a personal narrative. So today, we're going to start a new reader today about a girl named Grace. And if you notice in the word Grace, we have the letter CE. We have that digraph working together to say S. However, from the beginning of the first grade year, we knew a consonant E makes that A sound. So when you say gr, a, s, it all blends together to say grace. Scholars, Grace is the main character of this reader. She lives on a farm and she's going to take us on adventures on her farm and throughout the country. The setting for many of the stories is the farm where Grace lives. Remember, a farm is a place where people grow crops and they raise animals. Farms are usually located in the country, far, far away from cities, okay? So scholars, I want you to make a prediction. If you look at this cover here, the front cover, which character do you think is Grace? What do you think about it? Now I want you to keep that thought, and then by the time we begin reading this reader, I want you to give yourself a point if you had the right prediction. If not, it's perfectly fine. All right, scholars, tracking the board or tracking this slide, make sure you don't get tricked, okay? S makes what sound? S. Good job. Repeat after me. Grace, Spencer. All right, scholars. I meant to say at the beginning, not S, of course. We're not talking about the S. We're talking about the S sound. So C can make what sound? S. Good job, scholars. Repeat after me. Grace, Spencer, nice, raced. CE can make what sound? S. Good job. Repeat after me. Fence, force. SE can make what sound? S. Good job. Repeat after me. Farmhouse, else. AR make what sound? R. Farm, garden, harvest. Two-syllable words. Eggplants, problems, hornet. Repeat after me. Midwest is a noun. Midwest is a noun because it is a place, is a region in the middle of the United States. For example, I would say we read a book that was set on the prairie in the Midwest. Ripe is an adjective. Ripe is an adjective because it describes a noun. It means ready to be eaten. For example, I would say the berries come off the vine easily when they are ripe. Harvest is a verb. Harvests is a verb because it is an action word. It's something that we can do. It means picks plants to be eaten or sold. For example, I would say my grandma harvests blackberries to make a pie. Makes a living. That is an expression, scholars. It means earns money by doing a job. For example, I would say my stepfather makes a living as a police officer. Mad as a hornet. Again, that's another expression. It means very angry. For example, I would say I was mad as a hornet after I spilled my cereal. Let the rabbits be. That's another expression. It means leave the rabbits alone. For example, I would say, my mother told us to let my sister be. All right, so scholars, in our reader, we're going to read today's story to learn more about how Grace's dad solves a problem he has with some rabbits. So the title of today's story is Mr. Spencer and the Rabbits. Looking for a super silent hand out there to tell me what page are we turning to? If you said that we're turning to page 2, give yourself a pat on the back. Starting with the title, you can pause and read independently. You know, independently means by yourself, or you can read along with Miss Jackson, okay? Starting with the title. I'm going to put dots at the end to let you know where I am, so it's easier for you to track along, okay? At the beginning, rather. Mr. Spencer and the Rabbits. Grace Spencer's dad has a farm. Her dad is a farmer out in the Midwest, where the land is flat and the soil is rich. In the spring, Mr. Spencer plants corn next to the farmhouse. All summer long, he takes care of the corn. By the end of the summer, the corn is ripe. Then Mr. Spencer harvests it, and sells it. That is how he makes a living. Finger underneath the word Mr. Mr. Spencer has a garden too. In his garden, he plants eggplants, beets, sprouts, and peppers. Finger underneath the word Mr. Mr. Spencer has had some problems with rabbits. They crawl under the fence, hop into his garden, and munch on his plants. When Mr. Spencer sees the rabbits in his garden, he gets mad as a hornet. He shakes his fist and shouts at the rabbits. Finger underneath the word Grace. Grace and her sister Jill like the rabbits. Grace says they are cute. She tells her dad to be nice and let the rabbits be. But Mr. Spencer can't stand those rabbits. And the Spencers need the plants in the garden to feed them in the winter. Finger underneath the word last. Last summer, Mr. Spencer got a dog to force the rabbits out of his garden. The dog's name is Pepper. He is a black dog. He sleeps out in the barn. Finger underneath the word when. When Pepper came to the farm, he gave the rabbits quite a scare. They were in the garden munching on sprouts. Then Pepper came charging out into the yard, barking. The rabbits took off. They raced back into their hole as fast as they could. Finger underneath the word Pepper. Pepper ran to the rabbit hole and went in as far as he could. He started digging with his paws, but it was no use. It was a deep hole, and he could not get down to where the rabbits were. Finger underneath the word Mr. Mr. Spencer was sitting in the living room at the time. He could tell what Pepper was up to. He smiled. "Good dog," he said. "Good dog. I bet those rabbits will munch on sprouts somewhere else next time." And that's the end of the reader. I have a question for you. So instead of you answering my questions or me listening to you answering my questions, I have 6 scholar friends who are going to be answering those questions as well. I will give you think time, and then one of my scholars is going to answer the correct question with the correct answer. And if you got the same answer, give yourself a point. Get it, got it, good? Okay, first question. Who is Mr. Spencer? Thinking and listening for a complete sentence. Tracking the bull, let's go the bull. Mr. Spencer is a farmer and he is Grace's dad. Way to go, bull. Way to go, bull. If you got the same answer as bull, give yourself a point. Next question, thinking. What does Mr. Spencer grow in his garden? Listening for a complete sentence. What does Mr. Spencer grow in his garden? Tracking the tiger. Let's go the tiger. Listening for a complete sentence, Mr. Tiger. Okay. Mr. Spencer grows corn, eggplants, beets, and sprouts in his garden. If you agree with Tiger, let me see those nonverbal connections. Way to go, Tiger. Way to go, Tiger. Next question, scholars. Thinking, why does Mr. Spencer get mad at the rabbits? Why does Mr. Spencer get mad at the rabbits? Tracking Winnie. Let's go, Winnie. Listening. Remember, Winnie, I'm listening for a complete sentence, okay? Okay. Mr. Spencer gets mad at the rabbits because they eat the things that he grows in his garden. And it messes up the money for them to eat in the winter. Whoa, Winnie, that was a future second grade scholar answer. Way to go, Winnie. Way to go, Winnie. All right, scholars. What is Pepper the dog's job? Who knows? What is Pepper the dog's job? Tracking Gabby Goat. Let's go, Gabby Goat. Listening for a complete sentence. Pepper the dog's job is to scare off the rabbits so that the rabbits don't eat all of the food from the garden. Way to go, Gabby Goat. Way to go, Gabby Goat. Love all these complete sentences you guys are using. Keep up the good work, scholars. Next question. Where do the rabbits go when Pepper starts barking? Thinking. Where do the rabbits go when Pepper starts barking? Tracking Marcel. Let's go, Marcel. Remember, Marcel, I'm listening for a complete sentence, okay? Okay. When Pepper starts barking, the rabbits go into their hole. Way to go, Marcel. Way to go, Marcel. If you got that same answer, make sure you give those connections. Making sure you're giving yourself those points as well. Last question, scholars. Why does Mr. Spencer say good dog at the end of the story? Why does Mr. Spencer say good dog at the end of the story? Tracking Brown Bear. Let's go, Brown Bear. Mr. Spencer says good dog at the end of the story because Pepper was able to scare the rabbits away in the hole and they didn't eat the food from the garden. Way to go, Brown Bear. Way to go, Brown Bear. Good job, scholars. I love all those future second grade scholar answers. I'm going to let those teachers know that you're definitely ready for second grade. Expectations. All right, scholars. So if you turn the page in your packet, you'll see it says 6.3 at the tippy top. And what you are going to do, you are going to answer questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. It is a front and a back. All right, scholars. You are going to read all of the questions. I'll read you the questions. You have to read all of the answers that are available. There's only one right answer, and you have to make sure you choose the one right answer. I challenge you to go back into this PowerPoint and find the page where you got your answer from. Okay? It shouldn't take you any more than 8 minutes. When you are done with that, for number 2, make sure you take a picture of question number 2 and send it to Ms. Jackson. My number is at the beginning of the packet. So question number 1, remember I'm only going to read the questions. You have to answer them by yourself. You have to read the answers by yourself, okay? Number 1 question says, what is the land like out in the Midwest? You will read the 3 answers and select the one right answer. Number 2, what things are in Mr. Spencer's garden? Listening and looking for a complete sentence. If you just answer the question, that's not correct. You have to restate and then you have to answer, okay? What things are in Mr. Spencer's garden? Question number 3 says, what is the problem with Mr. Spencer's garden? Read the 3 answers, select only the one correct answer. And then question number 4 says, Pepper helps Mr. Spencer when he, You have to read the 3 answers and select only one correct answer. Now, for those scholars who love to be challenged, I challenge you to go back into the slide and make sure you figure out which page number you got your answers from, okay? Making sure that you take a picture of number 2 and send a text message to Ms. Jackson. I'm looking for that restate and that answer. And these are our new spelling words. So the first word is sun. The first word is. Next word is kiss. Next word is. Next word is cent. Next word is. And this is the cent like money that you get. Like a dime is a cent. A penny is worth 1 cent. A quarter is worth 25 cents. Okay, it's not the cent where you sniff something or you smell something. This is money is worth a cent. The word is cent. The word is. Good. Next word is prince. Next word is. Next word is zip. Next word is. Next word is jazz. Next word is. Next word is pigs. Next word is. And last word is the tricky word here. Tricky word. Good job, scholars. I want you to review these words. Write them at least once each day, because on Friday we're going to have a raffle to determine which scholar gets a treat out of Miss Jackson's treasure chest. But you have to text it to me on Friday. All right, scholars, so this is the end of our virtual lesson. I miss you. Text me if you have any questions. Text me if you have anything to say, any suggestions on how to make this even more fun. See you tomorrow. Have a good day. Challenge for you. I challenge you to do 10 sit-ups as well. I know scholar number 8 in Ashford already sent me a text message and he had already done 10 push-ups. So today I challenge you to do 10 sit-ups.